These are the new Pebble speakers from Creative, from the $70 Pebble Pro to the $160 X Plus, all the way to the $400 Pebble Nova. I've been testing all three, and honestly, the jump in sound between them might just surprise you. Now, Creative's Pebble series has always been the go-to for people who want better sound than their laptops or monitor speakers without breaking the bank. But now, Creative decided to take that simple idea and push it a lot further. So I've been living with all three, and this is how they stack up. So Creative tuned this with something they call the clear dialogue. It basically lifts voices above the rest of the mix. So when you're watching YouTube videos or Netflix movies, for example, or even Zoom calls, you don't have to crank up the volume just to hear speech clearly. There's also bass flex, and I'll be honest, it's not going to turn your desk into a subwoofer, but for the size, it's warm, it's present, and surprisingly full. It's the kind of speakers that make everyday listening very easy, so your background music while editing, casual Netflix, or even just light gaming. So I used the Pebble Pro for about a week straight while working, and here's the things that I noticed. It doesn't fatigue you. Now, some small speakers can sound tiny, harsh after a few hours. The Pro feels tuned for real-world use. And if you want a clean setup, it only needs one single USB-C cable, and that is power and audio through one line. So if you're on a budget or you want a cluster-free setup, then the Pro might just be the sweet spot for you. But if you're craving bass, you're going to want to hear what comes next. And that is the Pebble X Plus, because this is where you start to see an actual audio upgrade, because this is a two-in-one system. You've got two angled speakers and now a dedicated subwoofer. So out of the box, it's already punchy. When you plug in a 30-watt USB PD adapter, it transforms. The bass gets deeper and you can feel it under your desk. It's still small, but now you get physical low-end presence. Now, I tested this setup with a few tracks I know very well, like your Burna Boys, Wizkid, Jay-Z, and Hans Zimmer, and every time the X Plus just felt alive. The imaging's wide, the high sparkle and low end just fills your space, and the RGB lighting, it's so subtle and so good at the same time. It adds a bit of ambient flair to your desk, especially if you're in a creative setup or your night editing sessions. It's perfect for gaming too. Explosions, footsteps, background ambient sound, they have all the weight now. And the best part is you can still run it off one single USB-C line from your PC or your MacBook if you want, although you lose that extra bass without the PD adapter. Now, my only complaint is cable management. Now, with the sub and power lines, it's not as minimalist as the Pro, but if you can manage the cables, this one is insanely satisfying for its size. It's basically the Pebble Pro with a gym membership. And for most people, this is where you stop. The X Plus hits that balance between a small desk practicality and big sound energy. But then there's the Nova. Now let's talk about the Pebble Nova, Creative's new flagship. And the first thing you notice, it looks very different. It looks more sculptured, more deliberate, like something that belongs in a studio setup, and not just a gaming desk. Inside, you're getting coaxial drivers, meaning the tweeter and the woofer sit on the same axis. Now, why does that matter? Because it lets the sound hit your ears as one wave, so your highs and mids stay in the phase, giving a clearer, more natural presentation. The result is detail. Vocals sound intimate, instruments have textures, and even though there's no subwoofer, the low end is controlled and not muddy. You can tell these were tuned very differently, not for loudness, but for accuracy. You also get app controls, EQ presets, RGB lighting adjustments, and Bluetooth 5.3. It's made for people who want to dial in their sound. Maybe you're editing a video, mixing music, or you just appreciate high quality sound. But let's be real. $400 puts it in an entirely different bracket. You're competing with entry-level studio monitors at that point. So this one's for those who care more for clarity and design than sheer volume. Now, when I switched from the X Plus to the Nova, I lost some bass, yes, but I gained this airy openness. You start hearing things you didn't hear before, like little reverbs here and there. The room tones are different, fingers are sliding across strings. That's when you realize this isn't the Pebble you knew. So after living with all three, here's how I break it down. If you're coming from laptop speakers, then the Pro is going to blow your mind. If you want to feel your music, then I think the X Plus is your go-to. And if you want something that is more refined, almost studio-like, then go with the Nova. And whether you want simplicity, punch, or precision, there's one here that fits everything. I'll link all 3 down in the description below, and check their current pricing because they always have discounts. And if you've ever used an older Pebble, tell me which one you did and what you thought. I'm curious to know how this evolution looks from your side. For me, it's kind of wild seeing a brand that started from $30 speakers now competing with proper desktop setups. And that's what makes this lineup fun. They didn't forget where they started from. They just turn it up. Thank you guys for watching this video. What do you think about the Pebble speakers? Let me know down in the comments. And with all that being said, thanks again for watching this video. My name is KJ, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.